we do have to start with the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs hitting the final 4 games of their season with yet another pull out from the jaws of defeat, a victory, type victory. Once again,
you guys shrug your shoulders.
The Kansas City Chiefs come up with that W on Sunday Night Football against a stout, not charging, but hitting you in the mouth, Los Angeles Chargers Jim Harbaugh coach team with a whole bunch of guys that are not on your fantasy team, giving them all the run for their money. Kansas City Chiefs took a 13-0 lead in this football game. Chiefs were making sure the Chargers weren't going to do a darn thing on Sunday Night Football except roll over like most Chargers teams, with the exception of a Phillip Rivers one here or there going into that stadium, with the exception of a Brandon Staley moment. They were making sure that these Chargers were just going to be like the previous ones, which is let Travis Kelce do whatever the hell he wants. Let Mahomes do whatever the hell he wants. And then the Chargers came out in the second half, and, man, I've seen this many times before. Jim Harbaugh, that man knows how to make a halftime adjustment or two. And the Chiefs watched the Chargers take the lead while keep hitting the heck out of their quarterback. I mean, they just kept knocking Patrick Mahomes around and kept on smashing on either side of the line of scrimmage. And then the Chargers just did what they've been doing all year long. Making the plays they have to when they have to do it. And yes, getting a little help from their football god friends. Getting a little help from their football god friends, because the Chargers took a 17-16 lead, thanks to Dicker the kicker doing his thing. And then, sure enough, this one's for you, Chris. This one's for you, because you're the leader of their lucky, not really good department here on the Rich Eisen Show.
I don't understand how you could disagree with me.
They are lucky.
This one's for you. This year, there have been 2,137 kickoffs in the National Football League. 2,137 kickoffs in the National Football League.
That seems like a lot.
Only 14 of them did not, for some reason, hit the landing zone in the dynamic kickoff. Only 14 of them did not do so, leading to the opposing team to get to start the football drive of their next possession on their own 40-yard line. Only 14 of them. 14. And only one of those 14 coming into last night occurred in the final 5 minutes of a one-possession game.
Oh, of course, yeah. Guess who got the benefit of that?
And Dicker the kicker.
Oh, no way. You don't say.
Gave the Chiefs number 2 of those last night.
Hooray.
After the Chargers took the lead, Dicker the kicker attempted to, squib it or line drive it or whatever, and instead didn't hit the landing zone, came up short, and the Chiefs, all they have to do is just go, 30 or so yards with Mahomes. That's one of them.
I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, he's going to scramble around and hit Kelce.
And then they, sure enough, on that drive, wound up with their third kicker of the year, attempting a game-winning field goal with no timeout left. No time left, no timeouts left, no time left on the clock, just 1 second. And duck hooked that thing right off the left upright. And sometimes when you hit it off the upright, it can bounce forward. It can sometimes even hit the other upright and not go through. This one hit the upright and went through.
Oh, of course it did. Oh.
And the Chiefs wind up with the win. And they are the holders of this particular statistic. 4 wins this season by 2 points or less. It ties the National Football League record for second most such wins in a season. The Packers had 5 in 1989. The 2012 and 2012 Eagles and 2001 Jets had 4 such wins in a season. None of them, this just in, made the Super Bowl, let alone won it. Kansas City's now 10-0 in one-possession games in 2024. That's the most such wins in Kansas City history. They won 15 straight one-possession games, including the playoffs. That's the longest streak in NFL history. Their last one-score loss was on Christmas Day to the Raiders last year, which was their last loss period until they lost to the Bills a couple weeks ago. They're one of 2 teams all time to be 10-0 or better in one-score games in a season. The other team were the 2022 Vikings, who got one and done by Daniel Jones in the playoffs. So are they lucky, or are they just so damn good it drives you nuts that they're also that lucky?
Good has nothing to do with the ball doinking and then just grazing over the crossbar. That is not good.
I agree.
That is the definition of luck.
Well, sometimes.
What would you call finding Travis Kelce on third down when the entire planet Earth knows they're going to throw the ball?
What do you call
Travis
it? What do you call the defender missing the tackle?
T.J. Jefferson.
The dude missed the tackle.
T.J. Jefferson.
What do you mean?
Like, as soon as once you get Juan Soto, you're now spotting dimes. You're hitting a target right in the bullseye.
I've been saying this all year about these guys.
Exactly. Let me just say this. Let me say this just because Brockman's so riled up right now. Let me just come off the top rope and send him into a tizzy like he's Nick Turturro losing Juan Soto to the Mets.
That's just unhealthy.
Dropping bows like
I'm
Dusty
worried
Rhodes?
about
Is
Nick,
that what you're
by the
saying?
way. I'm worried about Nick. That's unhealthy.
Nick only grabbed a baseball bat when doing that.
And he threw it at his house.
I think he did. He threw his bat.
He threw the bat at his house.
Well, let me get you like that. You know why Chris is really upset right now about this whole subject matter?
Or you're going to sound like the YouTube commenters, Rich. Be careful.
I mean, I have a feeling. I know, but I'm going to let you paint this picture.
Who was the last team to win games like this over and over and over again? Who was the last team to have 9 straight division championships? Who was the last team to have a quarterback that every single announcer absolutely drooled all over and was accused of wanting to marry?
You are
let alone
misremembering
talk about
this era.
Who had a team that 1,000,000% kept winning and started driving everybody nuts because they kept on winning? Who had the team that constantly, every time you thought they had them, were situationally brilliant in coming up with the win because all they needed to do, despite the ups and downs of a game, even with tons of downs, all they had to do was just come up with that one first down. Like, say, when the whole world knew their generationally brilliant quarterback, who everyone was drooling all over, was going to hit their generationally brilliant tight end, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame wearing number 87. Who did that? All the time, over and over and over and over again. And the only difference between this team and those Patriots was the fact that the quarterback and the coach weren't on TV all the time saying the word bundle Ruski. That's the only difference right now. That's it. Because they are the current iteration of the New England Patriots. And the only difference as well, I should say, is that we're just now beginning to get the Chiefs' fatigue. The Chiefs hate
it started last year.
That the Patriots got. Well, with Taylor Swift, put it in a different world and orbit.
Yeah, and that's a huge difference. Like, the Patriots weren't shoved down your throat like the Chiefs are the last year and a half.
They keep on winning. And I don't see any pictures in the standings. The only thing I see in the standings is they're now 2 clear of the Buffalo Bills. 2. And now they are essentially, with 4 weeks to go, and they are now entering the stretch that I was pointing out the minute the schedule came out for the Chiefs, Ravens, Steelers, and Texans, because those are the 4 teams that must deal with the Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday crucible of playing on Christmas. They've got 2 short weeks coming up in a row. And they enter it 12-1 with a 2-game lead in conference. At Cleveland next, home for Houston, which is a shadow of its 2023 self. And then they're at Pittsburgh for a big game that, by the way, could wind up helping the Bills more than anything else.
That's it.
Because they could be too clear and they could lose that and still be in front of the Bills and help the Bills out be the 2 seed, if that's possible. And then there's a big one at Denver that might be big for Denver, depending on how the Colts and Denver play each other coming up and how the Dolphins potentially keep on winning. Say what you will. Lucky. They got a ball bounce off of Aiden O'Connell's chest.
Wait, so are you saying they're not lucky?
Oh, I'm saying they're lucky.
They're definitely
But
lucky.
I'm also saying, sir,
sure, but
to
they're
use
good,
the
too.
Branch Rickey phrase,
Well, it just seems like you've been pushing back on the luck thing
it
for weeks.
is the residue of design. That's what I'm saying.
But the luck runs out at some point.
Well, or it won't, because they'll need it to get through, or they will, in fact, be in the playoffs at home. You now need to come to them, proving that maybe last year was the time to get them most, not this year. Not this year. I'm not taking the cheese. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't going to take the cheese. I chose the Chiefs to win the three-peat beginning of the season. And all I know is I see a team that's too clear of the arguably best other team closest to them in the AFC, because that's the team that's beaten them. They're too clear of them with 4 to play. And that team that they're now too clear of has got to play the Lions next, who I think the Chiefs are going to wind up playing in the Super Bowl. They are lucky, sir. There's no question about it. There's no question about it that without that luck, they might be behind the Bills right now, needing the Lions' help.
Just wanted to hear you say
No, but I'm also just pointing out the Patriots were pretty damn lucky, too, from time to time, man.
Yeah,
They were lucky.
Not like this. You guys are just misremembering, and it's fine. It's okay.
I'm not misremembering a damn thing. I just remember everybody hated the Patriots, but every single time they were on the air, I would hear an announcer talk about how great Tom Brady is.
Because
guess what? He
was.
was.
Yeah.
He was.
It was.
He's not as good as Rodgers. He's not as good as Manning. He's
who
too
said that?
old.
Well, we would hear
Literally everybody all the
No,
time.
we did hear that he didn't have the same physical skill set as them.
Yeah, I mean, but he
Yeah,
was,
but the last
at the end of
10,
game,
12 years, 10 years of his career,
That's
he
all I'm
was the
saying.
GOAT.
Like, you got to take Brady.
Honestly,
over any
And I
guy.
get it. I
that's
kind
what
of
I'm
understand
saying.
how Brockman feels, because that's, as a Cowboys fan, how I felt about the Patriots when they started to become a dynasty.
We are
You
in
hate
the
them.
midst of a dynastic run.
Yeah.
That's what we're in the midst of. That could get knocked off. Again, the last team to go for a three-peat were his Patriots. The last team to win these many divisions in a row were his Patriots. The last time we saw a coach in a second run at it do what this coach is doing were his Patriots. The last time there was a number 87 who was going to the Hall of Fame catching passes when everybody knew it was coming to him and couldn't be stopped were his Patriots.
They're not the same.
The Bucks.
It's not the same.
It's the same damn thing
it's not,
playing out.
It's not the same.
Well, it's not as successful yet.
The fatigue is so much more for the Chiefs because of how they're just constantly in our face all the time. I must have missed all those Belichick commercials, Brady ads.
That's why I said the only
Edelman.
That said, it's the only difference. The only
missed
difference
those.
is we weren't not they're everywhere now.
Yeah.
But the only difference is we weren't seeing Brady and Belichick do a Bundle Rooski commercial together.
But it was a different time, too.
So cringe.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.